What else? What do you got? You got one, you got two, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Niagara College programs immerse students with a highly experiential learning environment enhanced by digital technologies. We place students at the center of all that we do. We are Niagara College.
Niagara College Ball.
Don't forget your brooms.
Yep, you got it.
Come on up. Okay, what else? What do you got? You got one, you got two, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Niagara College programs immerse students with a highly experiential learning environment enhanced by digital technologies. We place students at the center of all that we do. We are Niagara College.
Niagara College Ball.
Don't forget your brooms.
Yep, you got it.
Come on up. Okay, what else? What do you got? You got one, you got two, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Niagara College programs immerse students with a highly experiential learning environment enhanced by digital technologies. We place students at the center of all that we do. We are Niagara College.
Good evening and welcome to the St. Catharines Golf and Country Club. We're here for the 2024 Mixed Canadian Championship. My name's Brian Schick. I've got some special guests with me here tonight. Marilyn Bodo and Kim Moore joining me in the booth. Marilyn, how are you doing today?
I'm great. Golfing tomorrow.
Well, I hear it's going to be a beautiful day. And Kim, how about yourself?
Fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Great to be here. Thank you. So, our matchup today, we've got British Columbia, skipped by Cody Tanaka, taking on Ontario's Jaden King. Or anything we can expect from the matchup today?
Well, Ontario's off to an 0-2 start. That's our home club, and I know that they're disappointed at this point, so things have to change around. BC's young, they're eager, they got a lot of history on the team. I mean, I'm expecting an exciting game with a lot of risk-taking.
See the opening offering there from lead Amanda Wong, one of the two Wong twins on this team. Sarah is the sister playing third, and Amanda is the lead.
That was a tongue twister. You did that really well, Brian.
And lead for Ontario's Jillian Uniacke, and they're playing out of the Tilsonburg Curling Club. Both of the Ontario games so far have been pretty close. Just haven't been able to pull it off. Kim, I know you were watching them earlier today. Any thoughts?
Oh, definitely chances to win. Jaden in the first game had a chance to win, and in this morning's game they were close. It wasn't strategic. It was just a little bit execution. So they could just as easily be 2-0 as 0-2. So if they, pull together and iron out a few kinks, I'm sure they'll be okay.
As you said before, Ontario 0-2. This is only the second game for BC. They played yesterday, and they have won today. One of the odd quirks of the draw, just as it shakes down, is that some teams already have 3 games done, and they haven't even played their second yet. So BC will have 2 more tomorrow, and then 2 more on Wednesday to make the round-robin 6 games. And
that's the way, like when you're playing in a 14-team A group, B pool and stuff, it's really hard to make a fair draw. I mean, you really have to consider, like Nova Scotia flew in late, on Saturday night, had 2 back-to-back games, and now, they're going to play 4 games, and other people have only played 2 games. So I give credit to Curling Canada for trying to make it the best they can, but someone's got to be the backseat, draw master, and someone's going to have a luck of the draw.
well, I think every draw, no matter which team you're on, has its benefits. Some teams get a little sleep in a bit more. Some teams get an evening off here and there. It's just depending over the course of the 4 days of that round robin, you're going to have a different set of advantages. So you just got to make it work for you.
Well, I do think they try to balance it as much as they possibly can, and everybody's going to have a 2-game day, and it's just when that's going to happen. But unfortunately, sometimes, you're doing most of your curling at the end of the week as opposed to the beginning. But it all balances out in the end.
All right, so playing second for BC out of the Richmond and Royal City Curling Club, Joshua Mickey.
Yeah, a familiar name to curlers, that's for sure. He's the 3rd generation Mickey to be at a national championship. His father, Brian, of course, won with Greg McCauley, a world champion, and his grandfather, Fuji, is still heavily involved in the game, coaching, as I think Brian is as well. So good for Joshua for carrying on that Mickey tradition.
Well, Fuji coached my sister, Christine Jurgensen, because she did live in Vancouver, playing with Kelly Law that time, and Fuji took them over to Japan, and they had a great time, and he was a real master. Listened to all the players, and so I'm sure he has brought his son and his grandson into the game in a traditional way.
Daniel Del Conte throwing second for Ontario, just misses the long run back. Already a little trouble brewing for the local squad. Joshua Mickey going to try to put that guard back nice and tight, probably covering the center line or coming right up to it.
Kim and I were talking earlier yesterday about the technical deliveries of these teams across Canada playing in the mixed here. They are really, truly correct. Each of them have an individuality to their game, but they're all consistent. They're all have the great slide, the great balance. And that's what I love seeing across the board here, is seeing the youth and seeing the experience at this age.
Yeah, you got to get the best of both worlds. So some of these teams are fresh out of juniors, the U20 or even the university levels, and some of these other teams have been around for quite some time and are quite familiar to the curling fans.
Well, too, I think this is going to be an interesting matchup today because both of these teams are in that similar position. They're just fresh out of juniors, trying to make their mark on the national stage, and yeah, it's going to be I think a great game to watch.
Another run back just misses from Del Conte. That's so frustrating when you're off by half an inch and you don't have anything to show for it.
And that's part of the game. And you want to have those going your way and not the other way.
So this is Sarah Wong, the second of the Wong twins.
Or the Wright twins. Wrong Wright.
Just let it die. Line's okay.
I'm sure they get that comment all the time.
Shots there.
And that guard does finish up to get in the way. Starting to bunch the greens a little closer together, but so much late finish on this ice. We see rocks from the hog line in just take, and that one in just took a right turn and walked over the last couple feet as it comes to a stop. So you can get around pretty much everything, and makes it a lot more fun when there's more shots available to you.
Whoa, you're over curling.
Even with weight, it curls up a bit, as we just saw.
Yeah. Every position now in the game, you have to be no less than 85% at your position. I mean, your job is to out-curl your, opponent. And in the mixed, they say, oh, the men are better than the women. And, I think there's a balance in the mixed curling that is really unique. And I'm going to be watching very closely with the Ontario balance and how they're going to pick their game up and put a W on the board.
Over and off.
So far, the strategy's been pretty simple for the BC gang. Just keep replacing that guard, and 3-4 in a row now have just been right up to the center line, taking away that easy double.
And accurate. Very accurate. They seem to be a very intense team, the BC team.
All you can see.
So second opportunity here for Grace to move some things around. I think they're playing the one closer to the rings this time.
Yeah, I think Jaden's worried about if he runs the top green into the second green, that it's just going to jam on that outside yellow.
On
so
the yellow.
He's taking it on the other way, hoping to move the rock off the top of the forefoot. Hard scrub just to squeak it by.
Much better, Grace.
Okay.
Way to go, Grace. Nice recovery.
One off the forefoot.
Yeah, that looks a lot better. Even though there's still two greens sitting there, that rock off the top of the four makes the scoring area a little more accessible.
Ontario just has to keep thinking about leaving Jaden a shot to get his point,
top
right?
four, they have a pretty easy double. I'm thinking like top button. Top line right on the key.
Heard Cody Tanaka say top button there. That's a nice aggressive call early in the game. Really try to put the pressure on Ontario.
A little bit of a Manitoba tuck, I would say, for a BC team.
Yeah, there's a few of them out there.
No kidding.
Not all of them are from Manitoba.
No.
I'm surprised they still, I don't know if they teach that in the junior camps anymore.
Oh, yes, they do.
Oh, interesting.
The West does.
Okay, then go, yeah. Well, never mind. Too late.
No,
Too
Josh.
late.
Yeah, I coached at the Reed Carruthers camp in Winnipeg one summer, and I think half the kids were hardcore tuckers, and it was different, very different experience from the flat foot slides that we try to perfect in Ontario.
Well, I was taught how to tuck, and I changed that. It took me 2 years really to feel comfortable and to trust that flat foot, insecurity, and it saved my knees.
Back 8.
Well, speaking of Reed, he had to do that as well too. He had some knee issues from his tuck slide and had to relearn how to slide flat-footed. So it can be done.
A little tighter than draw the button, so it might go.
You can teach an old dog new tricks.
I wasn't going to say that.
I will.
So Jaden King here, trying to play a little out-turn draw tap.
He's got a huge rotation on his
All the way, man, never off.
turns.
I feel like that's a good thing on this ice. Soft rotation will kill you. You can get away with a little extra, though.
Hard, you got it. Hard, you got it.
Because there is so much finish. If you're a little bit soft, they just go sideways.
Little touch on the guard, rolls it open.
If Cody Tanaka can throw a good guard here, Ontario is going to be in a bit of trouble.
Yes.
No, I like it tight. I mean, even though it can't be a 1 because then they just play the same shot, right? Like even top 12 is fine as long as line.
What I've observed so far this week is just the precision that's required at the national level, at any level. Those little mistakes early on can get you into a heap of trouble as the end builds.
Well, you're talking those little mistakes on the run back attempts. They are only off by a sliver, but not getting any of the results. So that will come back to bite you if you can't connect on a few of those. This has a long way to curl, though. But there it starts to walk over.
Curl. Go. Hard, Amanda. Go.
Hard, Amanda.
Hard all the way.
Hard, Amanda. Go.
Okay, we're good. Good job, James.
Okay.
There it is.
Is there any run back possibility on those 2 yellows? One of those? No, there's this long guard, I think. That's on.
There's a high guard just off the frame there in front of those 2 yellows. So I think
Well, because I was a little worried too.
might have to hit the open green and take your lumps, give them 2. But
He's going through the hole.
it's not a very big hole.
He's looking at it.
You might be able to get 2 to go here if you hit it thin.
What I like about Jason is there's not a lot of muss and fuss. His decision making is pretty accurate. This is probably the longest I've ever seen him make a decision. But first end, you're looking at a pot full.
I think he's settled on the slash double here. Make sure you get 1. You might get 2 and cut him down to 1. It's only the first end, so 2's not the end of the world.
And how might you expect this to run, Brian? The earlier draws, it appears that any up weight tracked?
It runs pretty straight, but it will curl a little bit. Even with weight, they do tend to come up. Big extension there, too. It's got the 1, but will it clip the backing? It does not. Just misses. So that'll be a steal of 2 for British Columbia right off the bat. They'll take the early lead. We've got 4 games on the ice right now. 3 of them are available on Curling Canada streaming. On A, you can watch that game between Northwest Territories and New Brunswick. And on C, we've got Manitoba and Nunavut. Those games are available on the Curling Canada YouTube channel. And also out there, we've got Northern Ontario and Saskatchewan. Unfortunately, that game is not available to stream right now, but hopefully you stay with us and we can keep you entertained for a little while.
I just don't think we play that way typically.
Well, a steal of 2 for BC, but Ontario can make that up.
they may never guard. Which is
early on,
unfortunate.
that's when you want those two. I guess if you have to give one up, that's when you're going to give them up is in the first end.
At that point, I just usually lie to myself and pretend that they had the
They-
hammer, and you know.
Exactly. That's
mean,
what we used to say.
You can't take away BC's play in the first end. I mean, it was precise. They were ready to play. And unfortunately, you know, as you said, Brian, like Ontario was just missing on the other side of the inch. So
I think I just heard Jaden say that, you know, they made 6
Everything.
8 shots in a row, so
They did.
You know, that should win you some points in a lot of games.
Pretty quick in
absolutely.
this path still.
Again, going back to that precision, and
for sure.
there's
might
not
have
a
to
lot
curl.
of room for mistakes.
15-2. Should be good. Line's good. Yep. Sorry about it.
Just going back to our earlier conversation about the youth out here, 7 of the 8 players on the ice are either 22 or 23.
Love it.
And only Cody Tanaka is listed at 30 years old, but he's the old man on the ice right now.
He looks 15. Good for them.
So of the 7 22 and 23-year-olds are all students, many of them pursuing master's degrees at this point.
Yes.
But most of Team Ontario, 3 students at the University of Guelph and 1 at the U of T. And BC has the 2 sisters are going to UBC for business, and Joshua Mickey taking kinesiology at Douglas College.
Wow, I'm impressed. And how they can afford and take the time to curl in a passion of the game, and that's awesome.
We've seen a lot of development in recent years of those university college programs. Guelph, I know, has a good team that Jaden's been a part of.
Well, I think the whole U Sport initiative has come a long way, especially in the last 10 years, and investing more in curlers and competition, getting the competition that they need and the experience that they need to be able to compete at a high level and make that nice transition into men's and ladies. It's really shown, especially in these last few years.
We've also seen Curling Canada in recent years really double down on those U25 events where, like you said, helps with the transition from that junior age to the college age and into that men's ladies career. But quite an experience for these guys at the age 22, 23, playing at
now it's actually running pretty good.
an adult national championship.
Yes, and our own Lisa Weigel just is receiving an award for her accomplishment in her coaching abilities to the levels of the juniors and to the players that are coming up and making that transition, as you had said, Brian. And congratulations to you, Lisa. I know that's well-deserved. And let's see Ontario go to the mixed doubles. Come on, Epping. Come on, Weigel.
Okay. Line's good. It's curling hard now. Just top 4, guys. Oh.
BC certainly has their draw weight nailed down. Their positioning of their rocks are in the right spot.
I was just thinking the same thing. Their rock placement has been spot on.
Yeah. And Jaden's the type of player, too, it sometimes scares me, like where he takes a lot of risk early. But in this game, 8 ends, and you've got the free zone, I mean, you have to play like that now. You just cannot wait till someone makes a mistake. You've got to force.
I think pretty much every game I've seen, and I've watched every draw, so every game of every draw so far, there have been a million rocks in play across the board.
Good.
Which makes it for entertaining watching, but you can draw yourself into a bit of trouble if you're not precise with the locations.
Or you make a big end and boom, you take the game in hand.
And so much of the play is to the center.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You have to watch the slide path here, too. I mean, it's getting warmer here. In St. Catharines, our temperatures are going to be at least 21, 23 tomorrow. So I'm sure Dave, our ice maker, will be on it. I've heard of some little slowdowns in the 7th, 8th end. So these players, got to pay attention.
But we were on our way in tonight. Marilyn and I bumped into Jamie Cooey, and he's quite pleased with the ice. He said it's
Good.
great. So
Sorry, thank you.
the players are happy.
Good. That's all you want to be.
Pretty conservative call there from Cody Tanaka and the BC team going up to peel the corner when wasn't really threatening anything.
Like what he did yesterday, like he curled her.
Maybe he knows something we don't know.
Reminds me of coaching Swiss women. So that corner guard you couldn't leave it there because they would peel it immediately. Every time. Didn't want any rock and play that didn't need to be there.
Line's good.
Well, sometimes that's the only rock that's going to hurt you, right?
Line's great.
So maybe right off the bat,
Kill
that's
it,
the message
kill
she's
it,
sending. I'm
kill.
not going to give you a chance to do anything with the rocks out
Right
front
over,
there,
Jill.
Ontario. You're going to
Right
have to
over,
come
keep
after
pushing.
me.
Well, they did on the previous shot too. Nice freeze from Daniel Del Conte on his first.
Good. It's great. Let's
And it set them up well.
Very
The
good.
deuce is looking good right now.
This one. Good. Good for you, buddy.
Two great shots by Daniel in a row.
And you know what I've noticed too, Kim, is the outlook, the attitude that this mixed, Canadian Championship is showing out here. They're enthusiastic. They don't look like they're going to give up or get down on it. Even like some of the less stronger teams here are still in it mentally, and that's what I like to see.
There's the break Ontario was waiting for, just a little off on the execution, flashes the peel, and
I know.
now Jaden's going to deal with some of these in the house.
Well, if he can hit this and maybe just roll to his right a little bit, maybe there's even a 3 in play.
You want to keep these yellows spread out if you can help it, not bunch them up, but we'll see if that corner guard does come into play, because that's my pet peeve as a coach, when people throw the corner and never use it.
And then never use it.
You see it all the time. This was curling like
Seems to be curling, yeah.
Hard knows it. Hard and hard. Good, Cave. Penny.
Good shot.
A good weight too, not too heavy. Nice control weight that's going to ensure that the rock's going to stay in the rings.
Didn't get the roll they were looking for, but where that rock stopped is actually a really tough spot to double off. It's almost right on that 45-degree angle where you can't make the easy in-off, and it's too steep to run back, or too flat to run back, rather.
Curl. Hard for a piece.
Well, this needs to curl up.
Oh, yeah.
You're good, you're good.
Might get a tick here. Whoa.
You gotta watch the curl.
Not exactly the call, but it does improve things for BC. Got rid of one and got rid of that backing, so
Well, here you go, Brian.
we're using the corner.
The corner guard's going to be used.
Well, a little wide open. Okay.
Grace Cave
Whoa.
going for Ontario. This one looks like it's a little hot, maybe.
Now you're by it.
Is not coming off the line at all. She has struggled with draw weight.
All right, Grace. Copy.
Right out the back. So an opportunity squandered there, but like we said, still early, a lot of game left.
Grace also attended Brock University here, and now she's at the University of Toronto, and she's in physiotherapy. She wants to be a physiotherapist.
Yeah, one of 3 players on the Ontario team working on their masters right now.
No kidding.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Well, both the guys have indicated an interest in teaching, so we had a little conversation about that yesterday. But I think Jaden is also weighing in in medicine,
Curl.
possibly being a doctor.
He needs to talk to Sarah Colton, see how she's doing it.
Nice little hit and stick for Cody.
Is that good? Yeah.
Not much debate here, just hoping to get a roll to maybe tuck a piece behind that corner. It is fairly high, and with this ice curling the way it is, there's a lot of room to get around it. So your guards, to be effective, have to be pretty tight to the house,
I kind of like the blank.
just because there's so much late swing.
Scooch last. Yeah. 10. Yeah, Joe. Clean. Clean.
Looks like a clean throw here for Jaden. At this point, probably hoping for a blank to retain the hammer
Okay.
going into the third
Worst
end.
case, we draw for 1. Good. Good. Ooh, a little spicy.
I don't even think I've seen a blank end yet this week.
I have.
Has there been? Mm-hmm. Not many, though.
Not many.
One of Nova Scotia's games, I think there were multiples in a row. Multiple blanks.
I can hardly wait till the game evolves around that if you have a blank,
Hard.
you lose something.
Whoa, you're close.
It was.
We're
There was
nosy.
talk of that,
It's fine. Okay,
like
whoa.
the mixed doubles rule. If you blank the end, you forfeit hammer. But I think they got around that just by making
little
it
tight,
so
because you
hard
said
to
it was
blank
last, I
ends
thought it
on
was
purpose
curl.
with that free guard zone. 5 rock free guard zone and no tick on the center line. It just means that there's always going to be a million rocks in play, and blanking becomes quite difficult.
Well, it's almost that you should be able to score a deuce if you have hammer, the way that the rules are now with the guards. From what I've seen on some of the slam events.
Yeah, and you see a lot more 3s and 4s on the board too, and not always for the team with hammer.
Exactly. The level of difficulty of
Clean.
shots is through the roof. Nice blank here for Jaden to retain hammer going into the third.
Wow, we made a blank.
Both teams might be okay with that result. Ontario kind of settled their nerves and got a good result, and BC happy to take the lead into the third end.
Awesome. We're in a okay spot. I like that delayed corner. If it's not in a good spot, we'll throw the straight one. Okay, awesome. Here we go.
So both these teams playing in the A pool alongside Nova Scotia, Saskatchewan, Northern Ontario,
Good shot.
Newfoundland, Labrador, and Yukon. So right now, Nova Scotia and Saskatchewan are at the top of the heap, but there are a lot of games left to play. They'll do a full round robin in each pool before the top 4 move on to the championship
That's
pool.
good.
So you just have to be in that top 4 to
perfect.
give yourself a chance.
It's curling hard now. It's curling quite hard.
Yeah, you
actually.
can't count yourself out. Even if you have, like, Ontario, you're 0-2, you still can't think about, okay, you know, there's a lot of curling. The pools allow mistakes, but then when it comes to the second round robin, no mistakes.
Interesting call here from Jaden. He's opting to hit the rock in the house as opposed to putting up a corner guard.
Might be playing for another blank, trying to score in the even end,
Whoa, no.
or just hoping for a miss maybe. We have seen a couple of a flash takeout and an almost flash takeout, so maybe he's just looking for one miss to set up the what we classically call the junior deuce.
Junior deuce.
Split the house and
Good.
Nicely done, Jeff.
yeah. Just noticed this with the Wong twins that one's right-handed, one's left-handed.
I didn't see the call, but I think so. Yeah.
So this is Amanda throwing lead stones, and she's the righty.
Both Amanda and her sister
oh.
Sarah have some
Oh.
experience playing in the BC Scotties playdowns.
Okay.
Been
It's
to a few provincials there.
Okay.
Oh, there's the
There's the miss we were talking about.
And,
junior miss for the junior deuce.
and here comes the corner guard.
You're throwing a lot. You're throwing a lot.
So the feedback to her was that the weight was a little up?
I think it was release. It looked like when you release.
They're talking about the release too. Sometimes that out turn gets a little what we call poppy, where you get a little inside-out set on your release, and that combined with a lot of weight generally doesn't curl very much.
Line's good.
So I'm trying to get a hog-to-hog time here. If they could give us an idea of how the ice is running speed-wise.
There's the second in you coming out. I could never do that.
16 and a half, but my reaction time could be a little off.
I'd believe it for it's almost a halfway guard. That checks out, makes sense.
2 great shots from Jill.
I think your normal draw time would be around 15, which is a nice quick piece of ice. But we keep saying lots of curl, so a lot of room to get around those guards. Joshua Mickey trying to use that corner guard against them by making the freeze.
Okay, line's good. Line's good. Just for wait. Sorry. Here. Just here, you guys.
There's lots of room.
Okay, let it die then. Good shot, Josh.
That's pretty good.
Good shot.
Yeah, about 24 and a half, 25-second draw.
From our angle at the end of the sheet, that green rock that Joshua just threw is almost totally buried, poking out just an inch, but almost perfectly frozen as well. So that's going to be a hassle to deal with for Ontario.
Grace.
Little extension there from Daniel.
Whoa.
Becky.
How heavy? Curl. 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 Curl.
It's got a little bit of weight on
All
it.
the way, Joe. All
They
the way,
can make
Joe.
it curl enough,
As much as
get
you got, Joe.
it
Harder,
moved
harder.
around a bit.
Little bump would be good if you could just release that backing.
That's good.
Not terrible, but if that had curled up just an inch more and you could have staggered the
Good,
yellow-green combination so it didn't line up onto the other yellow, that would have been ideal. Just didn't quite come up for him. And now you'll see BC is going to try to do the yellow-green, yellow double, potentially keeping both greens around.
Oh. Yep. Yes.
Might be
All right.
on the guard.
Mm.
Just touches it.
Ooh. But maneuvers the guard enough so that,
Yeah, hair tight.
yeah, Jaden will have a play on that if he chooses at some point.
Now leading towards that junior deuce strategy to split the house.
Yeah.
The no doubles defense. But with this play and potentially leaving that other yellow in the back of the
Line's
house,
good.
could lead to more than 2 if you do it right. And maybe if you get another break.
Still running, really running. Really, really running. Take a look. Whoa, you're here. You're here, Grace. Whoa. No. Okay, way deep now. Yep. Not bad.
Oh, straight across.
Didn't really curl a lot that
Not bad.
I think Jaden had anticipated.
This wasn't
Didn't
curling at
finish.
all.
Yeah.
Like it did nothing. My back eight.
So BC opting to tap that back a little.
There's the twin. Whoa, we got a leg falling out.
Oh. Actually close. Yep. Oh.
Trying to take on
Hey,
that double
yep,
again. Basically
Yeah.
trying to nose the yellow, and I think she's close.
Oh. Good shot, Matt.
There they go.
Nicely done.
Sometimes the not the prettiest slides still get the good results.
I always used to say, when I threw an ugly rock, how did I look? Was my hair flowing?
Points for style.
Yes, there you go.
Well, a chance maybe to get a little roll behind that guard.
Yeah, Ontario's still looking good at a chance for 2. Just got to execute.
Yep.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. Yep.
Whoa.
Yep. Yep.
Gonna roll.
Shot, Kay.
Nice shot. Looks to be completely buried.
Yeah, really nicely done. Definitely no double there.
9-4.
You might be able to see just an inch of that yellow poking out, but not much more than that.
With the swing in the ice, you might think that be able to chase.
Sorry, it's not the end of the world.
It's really only a sliver there, but like you say, with that big bend at the end, I think it's there, but it's all about managing the weight and the sweeping.
Let's see how Sarah manages her delivery. Much better.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Little
whoa.
poke back to the center line.
Outward extension, yeah.
Oh, curl.
This is a nice soft weight, maybe just
Close.
like a hack
Keep
board.
Going. Keep going.
They're
Keep
just
going,
trying
you got
to
it.
carve it over.
Keep going. You got it.
It's going.
Keep going.
Look at a piece
Watch
of
her
it.
roll, watch her roll. No, 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 no. Good shots there.
It's pretty nicely done. You really couldn't see much of that rock, and just that soft weight, and like I said, managing it nicely with the brushes. They were able to get rid of it.
Shots. That's not easy. It's easier because you're lefty.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
you can see more. So.
Yeah.
Interesting situation here for Ontario,
I rolled my first. I slid out like a
where the BC shooter ended up
Yeah, very confusing. Luckily, you didn't pop it, so.
Yeah, I
But I was like,
forces the play into the center.
Yeah, you can't really use that corner guard anymore because the rock in the back four will
Won't be shot.
trump it.
Whoa, that's good. Back four's great.
Yep, yep.
Line's good.
Whoa.
Line's great. Stand.
Yep.
Okay, whoa then. Whoa.
I'm good.
Whoa. Line's great. No, no. No, 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 no.
Line looking good
shots,
here.
Cave.
Nice shot there.
Well, she seems to have her draw weight back, Marilyn.
Good for Ontario.
That's a very precise spot to put it, and just couldn't have walked it down much better than that.
You're doing really good.
Cody Tanaka probably going to take on the double, see if he can get everything spinning out. I imagine this might have a little pepper on it. A little spice.
Making me hungry.
Thanks to my quesadillas I had for dinner talking.
Yeah. Yeah, hard. Hard, Josh. You got it. Hard.
For basically a nose hit.
My goodness.
Oh, nice shot.
Just like that.
All goes.
Good shot.
Lots of speed on that rock.
There's just enough of a stagger on those that you get the sideways action. Made no mistake.
So Jaden here looking for a roll to the other side of the house. Ideally buried.
Okay, here we go.
And if not, leave it in a position where he may have a double on his last. To blank or
Whoa, whoa. Close. Whoa.
nice control weight.
Whoa. Yep.
I like what Jaden said. Did you hear him before he threw that rock? He said, okay, here we go.
Anything.
I like that.
Yep.
A pretty good spot.
Yeah.
Makes you think a little bit with that green backing in the way.
The curl just a screech more.
Cody has to be equally as accurate to avoid the jam.
All good. Take our one here and go march on.
I can hear Jaden say, do we
Yeah,
take
10,
our
5 to
one
11.
here? I think you're going to have to.
Yeah, you may not have a choice, but
Right.
I think the debate is if they leave you kind of a double peel where you can roll out, do you take it on or you just play the simpler shot for one? I think it all depends on where this shooter ends up.
Well, we're in the third end. They're only 8 end games, so almost a halfway point.
Clean. Whoa. Oh.
Again, a nice quiet weight under control
Oh,
here.
we're good.
Okay, that's fine.
And I don't think you can double those and roll out, so I imagine we'll see a shot for one.
I see the time clocks in the background there, Brian. That each team has 30 minutes at the onset.
32 maybe?
Yep, Dan. Hard.
Not my department.
Not your job.
Hasn't been an issue so far. Most of the games I've watched, every time clock has had
Oodles.
many minutes on it when the last rock was thrown. So, and teams do get a timeout as well, so they can stop the clock if they are in any distress.
Well, single point for Ontario. Well thrown for Jaden.
Ooh. A little visit from the
Interference.
From another sheet.
I was lucky that we were on our little break between our sheet. Rock came flying off from the Manitoba Nunavut game and could have caused some damage, but no harm done. So a point on the board for Ontario. They will be going first, playing the fourth end. And just like that, we're almost halfway through this game.
Line's good. Line's great. Still a little wide. Dan got to go over.
Interesting contrast to some of the games that I've been watching on TV in the competitions that have already been played out.
Joe.
The mixed players seem to be using
All
two
right.
sweepers more than men's play and women's than the women's play.
That was
You're
a
right.
bit unfortunate to get forced there.
The men's competitions, women's competitions seem to be manipulating the rock a little bit more with the sweeping.
Yeah, and I think that probably has more to do with the competitiveness of these athletes, the amount of time they spend in the gym, how much weight they can put on the brush. Not to take anything away from these guys, but to be an effective carver, to be able to steer the rock like the big boys do, you have to have a lot of weight on the brush. Otherwise, it's not worth it, and you just kind of stick to that traditional theory of sweeping. And I think that's what we're seeing more of here.
Well, so Team BC has removed the rock because it was going to hit and make contact with the yellow rock on the center line, which you can't move off the center line.
Right. They knew that if that rock made contact, it would push that yellow off the center line, and that's the no-tick rule that has been adopted by the World Federation and Curling Canada this year as official rules. It's been in play in some competitions for the last couple of years, but now it's actually part of the rule book.
Only Dan, yeah.
Well, back to our conversation about sweeping, I noticed actually it would be Sarah Wong's technique. She's up high on her brush trying to get up on her tippy toes, which is the way that they were teaching to get that extra pressure when I left the game.
What you see a lot of now, too, is that early snowplow, which not that long ago was illegal.
Yes.
Exactly.
But now, with all of these new sweeping rules, now that we've paid a little bit more attention to what brushing can actually do, the snowplow technique is allowed, and you'll see a lot of people use it right out of the thrower's hand, just to try to kind of keep it clean. Here you go, nice lean on that snowplow, not a lot of movement. And then halfway down, they make up their mind if they really need to sweep or not.
Yep. Oh, sorry. Oh. Oh, sit. Oh, sorry, man. That's my bad.
Just a little overswept.
It's okay. Good throw.
That's my bad.
Yeah, it was just his bad.
Straight all the way.
So there you go, Kim, the two women sweeping together. an example of the technique that their Ontario team has decided to do.
You notice that when Jaden comes out to help,
He takes the rock.
he's a big boy and he can put some weight on the brush, so he takes the rock and is fighting against that curl with that push stroke. Your push is really the one that's doing all the work. So when they can fight the curl with that, with a lot of pressure on the brush head, you do fight the curl a little more effectively. But if you're not going to make that, put that pressure on, then you might as well stick to the traditional friction theory.
And Josh here trying to play the run back. Just miss. Rolls to a corner though, which isn't a bad thing when you have hammer.
That was another one of those run backs that was off by just a millimeter and nothing to show for it. It was almost perfect, but almost doesn't cut it.
Only in horseshoes.
And hand grenades. you got to finish the expression. Horseshoes and hand grenades. Close enough.
Never heard of the hand grenade one.
Line's good. Still Grace, always Grace.
This looks good.
Where are we, Jill? 2. Okay, finish it a bit for a 2. Yep. Yep. Hard right across.
Trying to get it to the line. Nice little finish at the end.
Pretty good. Maybe just expose a little bit on the open side. BC can probably see maybe a quarter of that rock peeking out.
Would he ever considering running it?
You might see that, and it looks like that's what they're taking on based on the broom placement.
Because even if BC takes 1 point here in the fourth end, it's the even end.
Yep.
And they're up 2 at the halfway point. So a score of 1 isn't the end of the world for BC.
And scoring in the even ends is never a bad thing.
Never.
But right now it's Ontario sitting shot, and if they keep putting this guard back, that
It's going to make it tough.
that one might not be guaranteed.
Jill. Line's good, line's good, line's good.
These guys are all making liars of me. Almost every game on the ice right now has at least one blank end.
Where, Dan?
Other than sheet A, there have been a blank in our game. There was a blank in the Manitoba-Nunavut game, and there have been 2 in the Saskatchewan
Northern
Ontario. So
Nice guard by Grace.
I'll do this 3 more times and hope for the best.
there you hear it. Do it 3 more times, and we force them to draw the button.
Clean. Clean. Oh.
Straight peel looking pretty good. Gonna catch the green on the way by. Yes, but no, not enough.
Sorry.
Speaking of our other games, Northwest Territories up 4-1 on New Brunswick, playing the fourth end.
I did not throw that one.
Manitoba up 2-0 on Nunavut, also playing the fourth, and a 1-0 game in the fourth. Pitchers duel over there on sheet 4. For any scores, schedules, tournament information, you can go to curling.ca/scoreboard. And we'll have all of the schedules you need, the standings, the scores for this event and any other Curling Canada competition.
Stop curling. Stop curling.
Just a slight over curl.
Still more than half buried, but it is a little more exposed than it was on the previous 2.
The key for Sarah on this shot will be weight control, making sure she doesn't overthrow it.
This is also one where she happens to tick the guard on the way by. It's just as good as throwing the peel anyway. So one or the other here is good. Just don't be wide.
She's a bit of a floater on her out turn.
Curl.
Nice soft weight, though. This
Curl for
is
a piece.
Yeah, good.
walking back to the line.
Alright, you got
Yeah.
Good technique, sweeping technique by Amanda.
Gets a piece, but not enough. And
it. Shot.
Oh, look,
Spins.
oh,
Spin back in.
big finish, spins back in.
Spinner.
You'll see Jaden King use that center guard once again, throw a draw behind, and all of a sudden the force
Oh,
is
really
very
spun
much
back.
in play, or maybe even a steal.
Yeah, it's not bad. Just a little heavy.
Yeah, sorry.
And probably a little wide.
Okay. Up and on, friends. Speed's good here, eh?
What did you say, Joe? Oh, okay.
Jaden, I've noticed he doesn't take a whole lot of time in the hack. Lines himself up, and away he goes.
Line's good.
It's got that straight handle delivery too.
Line's great.
So the rotation comes from at the end.
At
No,
the
not
end,
curl, not curl.
You've seen a lot more of that
that's a
at the pro levels.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
generally because those rocks are so sharp, they can afford to float them out a little bit wide. Great draw here, right around the guard.
beautiful weight.
You see a lot of club curlers try that and then just setting it into the wall.
I've been waiting for them to
But
go slow, so they just kinda-
with nice sharp rocks, and if you know how to do it, you can make that a pretty effective release. It's just hard to teach. It takes a lot of practice.
No kidding.
Like if he makes the perfect guard, I think we just hit the open one. We're down one. We're tied with.
Interesting there. They're BC already talking about potentially just giving up one.
Back to the release, the point about the release, and if you watch like the Gushus, the team Gushus, they try to get that consistent release with all four players.
All four players at the same time, releasing at the same space
On the sheet.
On the sheet. Oh,
Nice shot there.
Well, good news, bad news. You got rid of the one off the top of the button, but you left that center guard right essentially where it was, and Jaden King's going to have the same shot. A lot of teams are always trying to match their
Hair thin air
releases,
is
and I
perfect.
was talking to Nova Scotia yesterday, and with mixed teams that generally don't play a ton of games together,
no.
that's even harder for them to do. So Owen Purcell was telling me yesterday that they spent a lot of time in their limited amount of practice just trying to get those releases similar, and he said that by the end of it, they were actually throwing pretty similar, and he was having a pretty easy time reading what was coming at him, which is basically the objective behind the whole exercise.
And that team is off to a great
Line's
start,
good.
Brian. They're 3-0 and looking pretty strong. It's got a ways to go here to finish. It looks a little hot.
Whoa,
It is heavier than the first one.
dig,
With
dig,
more
dig, dig.
rotation too.
dig, 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 dig.
Sticks around for second.
Think it's a force?
He thinks it's a force.
Think it's a force?
It would.
I
There
think
might
we're
be
making
a
that
soft weight double.
He's looking at it.
He's trying to line it up. Can you get the double and stick around?
They throw it that hard?
Is it worth taking on at this stage? Looks like he's gonna.
I thought it was close to.
A little more.
As we mentioned earlier,
Yeah,
as
I
long
go
as he
forward if
ensures
it's
his
close, we'll go
one
for it, but if I like forward,
to keep that 2-point lead at the halfway point, I think would be an advantage to BC.
Yeah. Like 2/3.
Yeah, this is. I think
I should've told her to
you
curl.
play it. You play it very conservatively here. With make sure you anything you're going to over curl and nose it and take your one. You don't want to overthrow it and roll wide and potentially give up the steal.
Yep. Yep.
They called
Hard.
board out of his hand.
Hard.
Trying to keep it out there, but I think they're coming up closer. They're actually crossing the face here.
It's really curling.
And will it stick around? I think he rolled too far.
Seeing the overhead,
Out of the way, Jaden.
Well, maybe he didn't. That'll be close.
That's a one.
I think it looks like one green from up in the booth.
Sorry?
They're going to put the stick on it.
Oh, really?
Oh, it looks like us. Yeah, from my angle.
I think it's we may as well measure it. Yeah.
That might have been another one that kind of spun around and curled back in, because as Jaden was sweeping it, I thought it was well past, and then it just kind of stopped, and by the time he moved his head, it was closer.
I think so too.
Was that tight?
I didn't think so. But it
Regardless of what happens here, we'll have a short break after this end, because this is halftime. Only 8 end games, and they tend to fly by.
So the officials do the measuring at this competition?
Apparently so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely green.
Everybody agrees. So that is a single on the board for BC from the looks of it. That'll be a 3-1 lead going into our break. We're going to take a couple minutes and we will rejoin you just in a few.
Yeah, I must have turned.
Niagara College Ball.
Gripper first.
Don't forget your brooms.
Yep, you got it. Yellow.
Come on. Okay, what else? What do you got? You got 1, you got 2, yeah!
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Niagara College programs immerse students with a highly experiential learning environment enhanced by digital technologies. We place students at the center of all that we do. We are Niagara College.
And welcome back to the St. Catharines Golf and Country Club for the Canadian Mixed Curling Championships. I'm Brian Chick here with Marilyn Bedeau and Kim Moore. Tuning in for the second half of this matchup between Ontario's Jaden King and BC's Cody Tanaka. Impressions on the first half, Marilyn?
You know, as I said in the beginning of the top of the game, you see Ontario struggling.
Really now.
And at this level of play, you know, a little inch here, a little tick there, and it makes a big difference. So they're still in recovery mode. They seem to be in recovery mode almost every game, even when they're ahead. They're still, you know, having to make perfect shots. But, you know, credit to BC. They certainly know their rock positioning. It's been pretty well excellent all the time, and they're making the shots at the right time. So it'll be interesting this end, and the next end will really tell the story of it.
I think, too, Ontario has settled in more to this game. The first end was a little shaky, maybe some jitters, working out the jitters. But they, in terms of execution, the last couple of ends, they've made some great shots too. So they're only down 2. A score of 2 or 3 here might just perk them up.
Yeah, BC hasn't been perfect. They've certainly had a few misses, but they've been able to recover really well. Whereas Ontario seems to be, when they do have momentum, a couple of good BC shots has been able to deflate them a little bit. So with hammer now, Ontario
I got 14-5.
chases that first rock into the 4-foot with the hit again, rolls out.
Good shot.
Which tells me that they are not desperate yet. If they were really desperate for points, they'd be throwing that corner guard.
Guards.
Yes.
It's going up on this one, so
Some teams will play that differently depending on how good that first draw is. If it's sitting on the top of the button, then we'll hit it. But if it's a little further away, we're not too concerned about it.
And credit to Jaden, you know, he had a fantastic season last year with his men's team. He made it all the way to the Tankard final, losing in an extra end to Scott Howard to go to the Briar. So he has a little bit of experience and not panicking yet, as you said, Brian. He's, you know, I think he has a plan and he's going to execute.
Nope, brakes did not go on.
Yeah, so unfortunately, that slips into the house and is no longer protected by the free guard zone rule. So you'll see Joshua Mickey take a crack at it, and I don't expect that yellow to be there for very long.
And I always remember one of my curling coaches, Yvonne Smith, saying, just remember, after the sweep at the break, it's always a little quick after they've mopped the ice. So
Josh.
That could have been a case of that in that situation.
It's also just that few-minute break kind of just takes you out of the rhythm. You know, you maybe run into the bathroom and you warm up for a half second or something like that, but you come back out and you're just a tick out of sorts for a few minutes until you settle back into the game. So a couple of factors there. This is obviously a great ice surface. We've seen the conditions are, rocks are sliding well, curling a lot, so the players seem to love it. So credit to Dave Powell and his crew. See Don Powell out from...
Good old Donnie.
We're just talking about the old Weston Club in Toronto, so shout out to anybody from Weston listening.
Our friend Bob Weeks. I bet you he's on that golf course somewhere.
Well, too, we just had a little visit from the chair of the mixed competition here. Michelle just popped into the booth, and we want to congratulate her on all her hard work and what so far has been an excellent event. Is the St. Catharines Golf and Country Club is celebrating their 125th anniversary, and what a better way to showcase that anniversary by hosting a national event. So congratulations to her, and I know in talking with a couple of curlers, they're very impressed with the facility and everything that it has to offer. Not only the curling ice.
And did you know that Michelle Scott, well, she wasn't Scott then, I think it was Schlinger. She played with Randy Furby from Alberta when the mix came to Bayview, and Pat Sanders and her BC team won that year.
Yeah, I'll echo you, Kim. The organization of this event has been incredible. The number of volunteers and the work that the committee and the board have done to put this on. Having attended quite a few of this sort of events, you can tell which ones have an enthusiastic committee, and this is certainly one of them. They've put on a great show so far.
Oh, that's nice to hear. That's great.
And the golf club and the area, really no stranger to hosting national events. They've hosted 2 Canadian Junior Championships as well as the Scotties Tournament of Hearts in 2017. And I know that 2017 Scotties was very well attended, and
you never know what happens.
The community embraced it, and
our Ontario team won. Rachel Holman
made a fantastic thin double.
Double
that's on the highlight reel and will be probably for a long time.
Yes.
We were talking about that one last night. Yeah, that final against Michelle Englot was one of the instant classics. As soon as they're just going back and forth with tremendous shot, one after another.
And you know, I really have to feel sorry for Michelle Englot. She has lost semifinal, final to all Ontario teams. All Ontario. Heather Houston.
I don't know. It's nosing.
Heather Houston, and then Rachel. And that's how it goes sometimes. You just can't get past a team or a province or you know, whatever.
A couple of rocks in play for Ontario to use.
I didn't hate it when I slid.
Corner guard left over after a hit attempt, and you'll see Grace Cave try to play the come around.
Not laying a broom to it. She's had pretty good draw weight this game. I know she struggled with it earlier.
It may finish here.
No.
Starting to go now.
He says, don't even look at it.
Line's perfect. It's just got to stop.
Oh.
Stop it will.
Good, Grace. Really nice.
Nice. Very nice. All on its own.
And she shot rock, too.
Maybe poked out the outside just a little bit, but BC just opting to just play the peel, not chase. Really not giving a lot of ice for this. Playing it almost a little bit inside out. Let's see what kind of extension we got on the release. Not much.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Nice.
Well, did the job.
Yeah. Thought they were calling the peel, but obviously the run back attempt was called and made.
One of you could help. Shot.
I like that one better. The first one was not good.
Yeah, he just turned it a little.
Yeah.
I debated immediately.
Grace is going to try to repeat the shot and bury this rock.
Slightly different line now.
A little bit more ice.
Not going as far out to the wings. On it early.
She appeared to come out a little slower, so maybe give the sweepers an opportunity to work the rock a little bit. Line's looking good.
Yep. Hard, Daniel. Hard, Daniel. Gotta be on a little more. A little more. Okay.
It's not shot rock, but it's in there buried. Well, here's an aggressive call. It's going to ignore it and come around.
If he's not clearly not too concerned about that one biting the top 12, and as we keep saying, there's lots of curl in this ice, so if you throw the right weight, you can easily bury behind one that's just biting.
No. It shouldn't.
Actually, Cody has played in a mixed championship before. He was the 2018 BC mixed champion as well, so second time for him at the national championship.
You're close, little tight.
That's good, you guys.
Well, it's kind of nice to see some twins come back up from our day, right? I'll give you 3 guesses on all the twins you can name. And we played them.
Oh my goodness.
Come on, Moore.
Okay, I'll have to put my thinking cap on there, Marilyn.
Okay, I'll give you a real big clue. 2 sets.
Well, didn't you
Came
you
from
played-
Winnipeg.
You played
I didn't think I was that
with
heavy.
twins in your junior years, did you not?
No, Ollie and Heather weren't twins.
Oh, okay.
I-
They
I
were
think that's what
sisters.
Sisters.
Okay.
Bodos,
Getting close.
The Bodos and the Graves.
Okay.
So there was Connie,
And her
Lalaberti,
sister. Yep.
Corinne, and then there was the Fallis girls, Lynn and Karen.
And then the Sutton, Julie, and
Were they twins? No, they were sisters.
I don't know.
Sutton and
They were,
Skinner.
yeah. They were sisters. I don't think they were twins.
Sliver last.
Someone's probably saying, "Come on, Marilyn, there's a couple of more out there." Like,
That's a great question. I have some Googling to do tonight.
Got a curl.
Julie Hastings. She not a twin?
Oh, from Ontario.
No, from Bayview.
The
yes,
Hastings.
yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Hastings, they finally won the Ontarios.
You're getting good, Dan.
Yep, hard.
It's getting close, Dan. Keep going.
Line looks
going.
good here.
Cody
Keep
Tanaka
going.
a little bit deep with his draw attempt, and Jaden
tricky
able to
spot.
follow it down and put it
Tricky spot
in a
to
pretty
bury.
good spot. He is exposed probably half a rock or more, but
Still tappable.
that green rock at the back of the 12, it is a bit playing a bit of a catcher.
Yeah, he's gonna get rid of her.
But no, he's throwing it hard. Just trying to pick it clean.
I don't know if you're gonna be able to sweep anyways once we get by. Yeah. Whoa. Close. Whoa, curl.
Hard.
Just gonna get a piece of it. Just.
The way he wants it.
That's all he needed, but halfway
this
down,
was
I
mad.
think there was a little bit of concern in the
Yeah, I thought we
sweep
were
call.
close.
Is he going to take on this crosshouse
Hair wide.
double here?
I thought you put it out a little, but I wouldn't say why.
Again, one might you might call this the safe way, but taking this on at this point, I don't know that it's entirely necessary. It's one of those. It's great if you make it, but if you miss, you got to miss it the right way. And
To ensure you
don't
take
want,
your one.
Yeah, you don't want to be caught in between.
To just roll in, but
Little last.
okay. A third. And then sweep it all the way across that other one.
He's going for it.
Last rock of the 5th, looking for a
Oh no.
medium weight crosshouse double.
Close, yeah.
Heard him say looking for a third of a rock.
He's going to sweep.
Okay,
This
here's
is curling a lot.
here's the high risk shot. That is not.
Oh, gives up.
steal
steal
of
of two.
Yeah, that's
There's the high risker
yeah. I
we
think-
talked about. We need to send him to the casino down the road with you and Jamie.
Oh,
Jamie Cooey.
yeah, we'll teach him a thing or two about risk reward there, but no, just I didn't love the call. Just
But he didn't have to do it either.
yeah, you know the draw for one, even the nose
It's
hit for
okay.
one. You're down one with 3 to go. That's not the end of the world. I don't think that was really worth the risk on that one.
Yeah.
Okay, you got it. Speed's the same
But
as
that's his MO.
What did I do? He picked it.
Well, regroup and 3
I'm
ends
sorry, I
to
didn't draw for his one.
That's a big swing on the scoreboard too. You'll be
Definitely.
down 1 instead of down 4. So obviously not ideal for the Ontario gang, and
Well, we're definitely max.
little. I don't think BC saw the steal 2 coming with that setup.
no, no.
Are we through, Josh? What?
It probably will.
So Ontario needs a big score here to get back in it.
Just too big of a
Now you will probably see the pure offense strategy of
yeah.
double guards, double everything, junk every here.
Guard, draw, freeze, but no hits. Tap maybe.
Line's good.
Every rock in play is your friend here, so just keep them all around and you might be able to generate a big
Close.
score.
Good, Joe. All right, 16-1.
Good.
And I think, too, the difference is you would have seen Jaden make that shot last year when he was playing in the tankard. He was on a roll, and he was making everything.
Sometimes a hot skip can win you a game or even a spiel, but
that's a tough thing to do through a whole national championship.
Yeah.
That's right. And then that's the youth, and then hopefully, you know, the learning experience for him and his teammates. Build on that for the next time.
Curl.
CBC trying to play the tick into the rings.
Good try, Amanda. Good
Not going to make contact, so see Jaden call for the other corner guard.
Because the Yellowstone can't be removed, but it can be manipulated so that it could be, if it does end up in the rings, then they can remove it.
Correct. So they're just trying to punch that into the circles and hit it with the next one.
And that's a good practice, you know, to do at this point for them. The game's in control, and, you know, down the road, you never know what you're going to face in another game.
You see that call a lot in mixed doubles these days, too, when somebody's trying to defend against the power play. They try to play that tick on the corner.
Yes.
That's good. Nice shot, Joe.
Ontario nicely has two corner guards
Should
set
have a
up.
three ruin here. Should have three here.
See how this plays out.
Yeah, we're only on your first. I thought a little down, if anything. We were close. Close.
Okay. Top 4.
Yep, clean.
Top 8's okay.
Clean.
See over on sheet
Clean.
D,
It might dig.
Brian, you
It's
were
always
worried
there
it was
if
only
anything.
1-0 forever.
It's not
It's now
really coming
3-1
off.
for
It's not
Saskatchewan,
coming off.
playing in the 6th end. On sheet C, Manitoba has a controlling 6-1 lead.
But Nunavik scored 1, and they all just went nuts, did a high five.
And over on sheet A,
You're saying, wait a minute.
Northwest Territories has a 4-2 lead, playing New Brunswick in the 6th end.
It was definitely heavier than the other ones. I didn't think it was. Gotta go a little. We're fine.
Well, Ontario's got their guards up. They've got a little help at the back of the house with those 2 green BC stones.
Straight.
Take some pressure off, then they don't have to fight around the 4-foot area.
Curl.
Hard, guys. Hard.
Nice weight here, just trying to get that last bit of curl out of it.
Good shot, Dan.
Daniel has made some key draws this game. He certainly has control of his draw weight.
And now that we've passed 5 rocks into the end, actually on the 6th rock now,
Curl.
Yeah.
we can start hitting.
Watch that one.
Well, this is the second stone. Will be interesting to see what Jaden does here. With those 2 green ones at the back, he can come around the corner.
I go around the corner.
You got a few options. You could put the guard back up, you could draw to the back, and go around the corner. I think I'm with you. I think I'd probably try to take advantage of the other corner.
Like you come around, and they peel, but then we have to come around.
Yeah, if they come around the corner now, and they peel,
stack now,
then they have
and then hope something
the
goes wrong
house
on the
split,
peel.
and then they can
Yeah, well, it's fine. We have to move this eventually.
draw to the 2 at the back,
Yeah.
set up a potential 3.
He has to tap it a little bit.
Because their skip will make.
Yeah, you do have to move those 2 at the back if you want the other one to count.
Smidge, yeah.
But no, I think that's it.
Like that?
If you
I think
can
it's normally too early, but I
get a 3 set up,
playing the spots here.
Hopefully they need 2 shots to get
there's
it out.
going to be no easy doubles if you make it right.
And
We got a timeout here.
Timeout.
Gonna have a little team conference.
We're gonna throw 1 back. You don't like going again?
Because there are 5 rocks to come for Ontario.
Now's the time when we should probably play in the open. I'm thinking.
Because if they do come back 12 to sit against those 2 green ones, you would think BC is going to make a play there and try maybe blast them, and then you're only looking at 2. By coming around the corner guard, you have a potential 3 in place?
I think it's too early to bang on those.
Yeah,
you just freeze down to them.
You gotta tap. You can't just freeze.
you can get rid of one of them, but you will stay frozen on the other. But I think that corner, if like you just talked it out, go around the corner, they probably peel the corner, then you can make a play to the backing, and you've got 3 spread out all over the house, and there would be no easy doubles.
Exactly. But if you play this too soon, down to the back 1 too soon, I think your limit.
You're taking away the 3 possible.
It will be tougher to get a 3.
I think he's going for it. I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to try and do something to the back ones. Yep.
And are they sitting too? It looks that way.
Just.
Yeah, I think they moved it enough, and that's really the jiggle you're talking about, Marilyn. Just had to move it an inch.
I still would go around, play the cat and mouse around the corner guard and let them play it with that one. And then they were maybe worried about not being able to play on that back one.
Well, part of his conversation, too, he had mentioned about the spots on the ice. So maybe they aren't as familiar, like, to bury on that side. They've maybe picked up on something. I don't know.
Good shot there.
He did say, I'm trying to play the spots.
Mm-hmm.
Good sweep.
Well, now he's going there now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that roll where it ended up actually is kind of protecting that yellow in the back of the house, so he's going to leave it there for now. If you can sink a good draw, you might get something set up here.
Line's good.
Jaden's pleased with the line. Sweet. Until it catches the curl. Maybe a little hot coming in.
Needs to grind, and it doesn't look like it's going to. Just sliding a little deep, but it hangs on.
Could be sneaky good.
Well, it is buried. It could come into play.
Yeah, and now Cody Tanaka has a choice to make.
It's a risky one, but you're up 5-1.
Doesn't necessarily want to throw.
I mean, he could top freeze to his top green one. He can freeze over here.
Even if she does hit her green,
he's got
I might have
any shot here is not going to get him in trouble.
Or even if he plays a little split on his top green and just pushes it over a little bit to the side, rolls over to this side.
For both, right?
Split the house, and then Jaden is going to have a tough time scoring a multiple.
I can see a decent amount.
Do you like the feel? I like the feel, I think.
Oh, peeling the guard. It's never a wrong call to peel the guard.
I just don't think he wanted to put another rock in play, and I don't.
And help them out.
Yeah, I don't mind this call at all, especially the scoreboard being how it is, and The more I looked at it, I couldn't figure out where I would add one more rock, so I might as well take one out.
Oh, again.
This is going to cross the face to the outside and
Hard. Get ready to roll it.
maybe send it back into the pile. Just missed.
Shot.
Okay, here we go.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, you just starting on a bit.
Yeah, I'm just
I'm not
getting
gonna
a
open my
little
mouth
nervous.
up
I'll
just
stop
yet.
He's looking at the come around of the guard. He's looked at coming, freezing to the back one.
I think he's worried.
Or
We wait too long.
You've only got 3 shots left, and in theory you got to move 2 green ones if you want all of yours to count.
See, so why wouldn't he call the corner guard on the first shot instead of playing on the back double? That was my concern. Now he's down to, he's going to be what? 3rd shot? 4th? Right? He's got to eliminate, you're right, Brian, the 2 greens somehow.
well, he could throw the weight to definitely get the 2 greens going, but
Dan, you let him stay close, Dan.
Yeah, you could do it in one shot if
Yeah.
you nose the green straight back, but it's also half an inch off and you jam it and you're only getting 1.
when you're only getting 1, yeah. But I guess that's the gamble at this point, being down
Curl if you
5-1.
can.
Well, that didn't really
Good
finish,
right now.
but still there. It's good. That's what he called.
Okay.
Something's gonna happen.
I don't know that those
Sorry?
outside rocks are worth hitting.
I don't mind hitting the back yellow.
If you could pick it right off,
Yeah.
or even lose the backing, yeah.
Yeah, pick it out.
We knows. What are they going to try and do? Maybe the double on the back? Well, they can nose with our green. And then you have
I think I'd be tempted to throw a draw this time and just give Jaden 1 more green to worry about.
probably 3, but
As a skip, all you think about is eliminating
Yeah, if he
your
knows
opposition.
nosing this isn't a bad call
Yeah.
either.
it's solid forward controls.
Because then how does Jaden get those 3 green out to make the others count?
Well, he's got 2 shots, so he might need to make 2 doubles.
Yeah, exactly.
Should curl with my outer.
High difficulty doubles.
Yeah, like 10-5 probably. 10-5-11. We can't roll, so we can roll a little in, but yeah, it's good. All right, man.
Playing it inside out,
Yep.
on it early, trying to hold it straight.
Yep. Hard,
Hard,
Amanda.
Amanda.
Hard. Yep. Yep.
Looks
Keep
like it's
going.
pretty
Yes, yes, yes,
close.
Yes. Yep. Okay.
Right on the beak.
That's what he called.
Called and made, and
It's sweet.
I agree. It takes away a potential counter and puts 1 more nuisance rock in there for Jaden. So mission accomplished, I think.
It's a little tight. I think I started it, or I did something where I thought I knew those 2.
Yeah.
And again, here goes the very high risk shot. I mean, mind you, he has to.
All right, here we go.
Looking for the flat double.
Yeah,
On club ice, it's a hard thing to do.
I don't know how that's going to stay.
All right, here we go.
This might be one I'd be tempted to throw it with the other turn. You're going to get a flatter roll with
Absolutely.
when you cross the face with the intern here.
Yep.
Smoking. So here it comes.
Hard. Hard. Hard.
I think
It's not very good.
Got our first final of the day, sheet C. Manitoba puts a few more on the board, and they were already up 6-1, so I think that looks like maybe a 9-1 final over Nunavut. Saskatchewan still leading Northern Ontario 3-1 with a couple more rocks to go in the 6th end.
So a nice little rebound for Team Manitoba. They lost their earlier game today to Northwest Territories.
And the Territories, Jamie Cooey over there on sheet A, up 7-2 on New Brunswick. They're looking for a 2-win day.
Yeah, because we're shot now, right?
Maybe. Probably not.
You don't think?
I think you have to roll in here.
I
Roll it, dude.
I mean, this one's not
No,
over
'cause
by.
you know you're like touching this almost. You're like touching.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to hit it like.
You can roll it into it. I think you throw field just in case.
Cody trying to figure out how if there's a double there or if it's worth taking it on.
Because if we just hit and roll there, it's with field, it'll roll like higher. Like. Well, just I want to roll like a hair, so we're 2.
That's a very flat double.
He's throwing Peel, I think he said, so.
I mean, the main thing was you got to stick. Like that's.
And he just said it there. The main thing is he has to keep a shooter.
Yeah, I don't think, I just think he's looking for the hit and roll. I don't think he's looking for a double, really.
If you're just looking for the roll, though, I don't know why you need to throw Peel at it.
No, I think a nose is in
Nose
the
does,
back.
yeah, I like a nose hit is
Yep.
probably good enough.
Oh. 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 Yep.
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 Yeah.
Gonna get a little roll.
Okay.
We 2? We 2?
I think that does the job. Even if Jaden could have made the nose green, yellow, green combo. Now it's only for 1.
He's lucky.
I think with Peel,
He's
it's
going to
like,
go
I know
for it.
motion.
He'd be lucky to get one.
You just got to tick.
And he's looking at running that green back and just clipping
Bang.
the backside of the second shot green to
You're
hit
trying
the
to just tick.
third green stone. And
Need the magic bullet for that one.
you need, exactly,
It's our only
talk
way to
about
get
precision.
Helicopter time.
But he could also
much play
split
if you
that,
miss this one and hope you just
split
get it all
that
the way
one,
by.
the back one out and take us 2.
Even 2's tough
That's
here.
pretty much
Yeah,
it,
I
eh?
think 2's a great
Two's-
score here.
Yeah, but how do you get 2?
Yeah, you
I
gotta
don't think
move
one's
both
enough.
of those scoring greens and stick around without rolling out of the 8-foot.
Yeah, without rolling out, and that's
Still
the key,
2's the
being
hard
able to
part.
keep a shooter.
But again, this is where the scoreboard might dictate,
Not
yeah,
the
let's try the
steal.
magic bullet shot, because
Open.
go big or go home.
Take 1 and steal 2 twice. Good.
Take 1 and steal 2 twice. Okay, there's some math.
Whatever you like, Dan.
What do you think, Dan?
I wish he had said that last end.
You like it? I think either way we're kind of up a creek, but I think either way we're kind of up a creek, but
I think I said this yesterday too, but if he ever takes this on and makes it, it's the shot of the year candidate. 'Cause
you're right about that.
precision required to thread the needle and tick
You
tick.
like it?
Yeah.
Well, looks like they're gonna try.
Okay.
All right.
Would be a
kinda
miracle
rattle through
3.
Hard. Okay.
Just trying to go almost
Pass.
run the
Push
green
more.
straight between the back yellow and the green.
Like, I give Jaden credit on his composure
Okay.
and not the tense that, you know,
we gotta
that
drill enough so it
a
can
skip
rattle.
would show
It's
about,
just
okay,
got
this is a do or die
Green
shot.
one.
So obviously he practices this all
Half
the
a rock.
time. So I think the word that Jason has to learn is patience.
Oh.
It's a bit out.
Pretty close, I think. Got to curl an inch.
Yeah.
Well, that'll do it.
Game over.
Game over. That will do it. So,
Okay, good luck.
another steal for BC. I guess that was only 1, but it was 2. Either way, it's handshakes, and BC will claim the win. That's their first. Ontario drops to 0-3. We will be back tomorrow with a full slate of games beginning at 10 a.m. on YouTube, Curling Canada's YouTube channel. Thank you, Marilyn, and thank you, Kim, for joining me tonight. I guess we'll see you again later in the week.
Hopefully.
Absolutely.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
And thank you to the viewers tuning in. So we'll see you tomorrow morning. Still more action to come on the neighboring sheets. If you want to catch the end of that Northwest Territories New Brunswick game, they are still going, and that is also available on YouTube. So we will sign off for now, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a good night.
Niagara College Ball.
Don't forget your brooms.
You got it.
Come on up. Okay, well, what do you got? You got one, you got two, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Apparently, we are playing the seventh end.
Curling Canada and their rules, Kim, right?
4-3.
I'm not certain. I'm not certain. I thought they could technically quit after 6, but that's okay. Here we are. It gives us a little bit more practice, Marilyn, for later on in the week.
And we're learning also, unfortunately, the Canadian winner here does not get to go on to a world championship, which is unbelievable because of the
Olympic scheduling. Yeah.
And to me, the Olympics is the big O. It does need the stage, but I think if the planning is correct, you should not deny a Canadian champion the absolutely honor to represent your country at a world championship. So something's got to give there, I think.
So I just had a talk with the head official, and you are allowed to quit early after 6 ends if you are down by 7.
Oh.
But if you're only down by 6, you have to keep going.
Interesting.
Oh.
Which he agrees, and I agree, is not a great rule, but that's the rule of the competition, and I guess the players were made aware. So we get some bonus coverage. I'll tell you, if I'm Team Ontario in this particular case, I'm not too happy about that.
No, well, it's kind of, you've already done yourself in. Now you just got to be painful about it. And they're just going to whip them through. They don't care where these rocks go.
Well, scoring 6 points in 2 ends is a difficult feat. That's for sure.
Yeah, and not that it, you know, in retrospect, not that it matters, but if Jaden knew that he had to play another end, I don't know if he takes that shot on in the last end.
Exactly. Exactly.
We got another final, but this one is done after 7 ends, so they are allowed to quit.
We got that down pat.
Yeah, now we know the rule. Northwest Territories, 7-3 over New Brunswick. That's 2 wins today for Jamie Cooey and his Yellowknife team.
Well, and I think they might be around at the end of the week too. You know, they've got the experience of being in several Canadian mixed championships. Carrie's got a lot of Scotties to her name.
Only
21.
21, that's all.
You know, Jamie's got 17 Briar appearances, so they know what this stage is all about, and I think you'll see those veterans at the end of the week.
They lost their first game, but they also had a very makeable shot to win, so that was just one that I know Jamie would want back. He just came up a foot short on his draw, but it was definitely there for the win, and otherwise they'd be a 3-0 team right now too.
Exactly. And that was against Quebec.
I mean, yeah, if you get one, that's fine.
Tough Quebec team.
Okay, that's fine.
Joshua Mickey throwing a little heat, trying to get the double peel, only gets one.
Good call. No. I don't hate it. It was actually fairly close.
Around?
Well, I must say, even though there are 2 games already declared, the pace of the play is very quick. There's not a lot of, messing around with decisions. Sweeping is spot on.
Just guard.
With, the timing of all their rocks. So a very crisp, clean draw out here tonight.
Okay.
You definitely do notice the difference between the 8-end games and the 10-end games.
You sure do. It's amazing. It's like golf. It should be cut down to at least 14 holes, not 18.
A really good mood this afternoon.
Maryland.
I'm telling you, those Scotsmen, they had that. They didn't drink fast enough.
Are the world mixed 4-person championships also 8 ends?
I believe so, yes. The last bunch of games I was on the broadcast for was the U21 Canadians, and those were 10-end games. And some of those felt like they were dragging on quite a bit, because at those levels they've also introduced coaches interactions.
Oh boy.
Which are basically, I think you get 2 per half of the game, where the coach can kind of interrupt and help call the game. They're trying to introduce more developmental opportunities instead of learning by your mistakes, kind of learning along the way. But that definitely slows down the pace of play a little bit, and those 10-end games can
Okay, might as well freeze it then.
they can be a little bit brutal sometimes.
Okay.
Listen, my father played when they were 12.
Mm-hmm.
And he had one of those wacky brooms. What did you call them?
The rink
rat. My God, he was in pain.
Well, you think playing 12 ends with corn brooms and
While smoking a cigarette too.
exactly. Lots of calluses and blisters, I'll tell you.
Oh yeah, taping them up. I remember Jimmy Armstrong just taping his hands up, and the blood was just, the blisters were unbelievable.
Well, did you start with I started with a corn broom.
I started with a corn broom.
They were still around when I started playing, but I play around with them, but I never actually swept with them. I skipped with them sometimes because I could only do it for 6 feet before I got all discombobulated.
Started with a corn broom up in Kirkland Lake, Ontario.
Yes.
My dad actually had to have surgery on his thumbs from too much corn broom, from rink ratting.
Wow.
Right in, had some cartilage removed or something.
Wow.
But it was poetic to watch.
Yeah.
Such a great sound.
The thump.
Oh, you got to go straight all the way.
And just watch some of those sweepers.
Yeah.
And the rhythm.
Yeah.
All right.
Warren Hansen, big time, playing second for Hector Gervais.
Ontario sitting 2. We'll see Cody Tanaka try to take on the double here. Very makeable. Basically, nose or anywhere near it.
Just clean right away. I'm never going to be wide. Yep, yep. Hard Josh.
Hard job.
Played.
Clean. You're good.
And right on the nose it is.
Sweet.
Jaden looked to throw the perfect freeze and see if he can get a break to maybe take his 2.
Hair tight? Hair tight?
Yeah, just a hair.
We'll do it quickly though.
Josh held it in here.
Yeah.
At which point he would still be down 4 without hammer, which might still be handshake territory.
Oh, definitely.
All right.
I think if there's a players association meeting or any feedback from this event, I think that rule might need to be scrapped.
Well, I know we do
Whoa,
have the
that's
live
heavy.
streaming, which a lot of the grandparents and family and people across Canada really appreciate.
I think we're a little heavy.
But we're not live TV, so there's not like the huge sponsorship or anything like that. It's just a painful thing. I know they don't do it in any other sport, tennis and golf or hockey, right? So
It's definitely a part of the game that is normal for people who have spent any time around the sport. But like you said, if we don't have a paying, we're not selling tickets for this event, and
yes,
the live streams are free.
Yes.
So I think our paying customers have gotten their money's worth, and the athletes would like to call it a night. There is something to be said also when you do have a short game one way or the other, you do save a little bit of energy for later in the week.
Well, Team Ontario has their backs against the wall now. They pretty much will have to win out if they have any hopes of making the playoff, the championship pool and
I forgot it
the
was
playoffs
last round,
after
but
that.
went by so quickly. I was like,
BC's
wait, what?
finally in the win column.
No, but
It's
like,
looking that way anyway. And
I forgot it was our last already.
Ontario has Yukon, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland and Labrador yet to play.
How hard am I throwing this?
Not impossible, but not easy either. Not the
easy.
way that Nova Scotia team's playing, and Newfoundland actually could have beaten Nova Scotia today, so they're also playing pretty well.
And they won their
Yeah,
first game quite handily.
Yeah,
Newfoundland did.
After today, BC will play Newfoundland, Labrador, Yukon,
I think we can
Saskatchewan,
take
and
that.
Northern Ontario. So,
Good game.
And now the second
oh,
handshake.
they got handshakes for real this time.
Oh well, whatever it says on the paper. Good game, good luck now.
So there's something that you don't see every day, but we got the game done. BC does remain victorious, shockingly. And all that stuff I said before about seeing you tomorrow and watching live streams, we'll try that again. So thanks for joining us. Watch us on YouTube. And thank you to my co-hosts here. And we'll see you guys later in the week.
Will do.
Have a good night. Again.
Niagara College Vault.